Welcome to this episode of Ask the Guitar Coach, the only podcast where you get answers to all your guitar-related questions. If you're interested in developing your guitar skills and reaching your music goals, please send me an email at the email address ioannis@ioannis.org. That is ioannis@ioannis.org, so that I can let you know about all the different packages of elite guitar coaching and how you can get private coaching by me. Without further ado, let's go to our question for the day. What is the correct left hand position to play electric guitar? So here's a really good question, a question that would usually be classified as a beginner question. However, I see several advanced beginner or intermediate guitarists that have problems with their left hand position, and they struggle with understanding some of the basic elements of what is the correct left hand position on the electric guitar. So let's see if I can help. So when it comes to playing the electric guitar, we have two positions, two playing positions for the left hand. One is the straight position, the regular playing position, and one is the position that we use when we're bending notes. Let's examine the first one, the regular position. So the regular position, first of all, has the thumb behind the neck. So the thumb is over here, okay? You cannot really see it, or if you see it very little, and it is more or less behind the second finger. So if you were to be playing and then just lift the hand and turn it around, you would see the thumb would be behind the second, maybe just in between the second and the first fingers. Okay? This is the position that we're using when we're playing most electric guitar techniques. So for example, if I'm playing a legato, my hand moves like that. So the thumb is behind, the fingers are straight, and they move the same distance whenever as I'm playing from string to string. Okay? So that's the important thing to remember. So how do we find this position on the guitar if you have never played this way before? Well, there's a very simple way. I call it guitar caressing, and let's try to see how we can make this happen. So let's say you grab your guitar like that and you start caressing it like that, as if it's a little cat and you're caressing the guitar. So as you're going like that, your hand is straight, moving down, then just stop over the fourth string, right there. And this is your position. Just press a little harder, and now you have the perfect playing position. Once again, take the hand off, grab the guitar, start caressing it, see how the fingers are following the frets exactly. They're not like that, they're straight. There you go. And then around the fourth string, stop. Here it is, right here. This is your playing position. So when you're playing and you're moving from lower strings to higher strings, you're moving your whole hand, okay? You don't just bend like that, you just move your whole hand up and down. When you're moving along the strings, you're still moving your whole hand. So in essence, the thumb stays behind and it goes up and down and left and right. It doesn't just stay like if it was pinned there and then the hand tries to move around it. So pay attention to my thumb, okay? And my hand, when I move down, like from the lower string to the higher string, I don't keep my hand in the same position, my thumb in the same position, because this would mean that I would raise my shoulder like that. What I do is I will move the whole hand down, basically using this muscle. I'm just doing this motion a little bit, see? And that's all. There's no more motion. So if I'm playing, you will see that my thumb is moving along with the rest of the hand, up and down, okay? So there you have it. This is the basic position for most of electric guitar playing. Now let's go to the second position, which is the bend position. And the bend position is very, very different, because in the bend position, the thumb will move on top of the neck, right here, right there. So let's see. To do the bend position, we grab the neck like that, and we'll use the third finger. We'll put the third finger on the third string at the 7th fret, okay? So there it is. Put the other two fingers, first finger right behind it, okay? And bend. So, what do you see? As soon as I'm doing the bend, the thumb comes on top. Why does the thumb come on top? Because I want to use a big muscle for bending. And the muscle I want to use for bending is my bicep. So, the bicep is doing two things. One thing is flexing the arm, but that's not the only thing it does. It does also the rotation of the arm. See, it's very clear to see. I'm rotating the arm by using the bicep. So what I'm trying to do, and I'll keep focused here, is I grab the string and then I use this exact motion to bend it, okay? So biceps are strong muscles. This is the muscles we use to pick up, like, sometimes even quite heavy stuff. Definitely several kilos of strength, okay? If you don't use this and you try to bend strings like that with your thumb behind the neck, what happens is you're using those little extensor muscles on your forearm, which are very weak. You're not even using the flexors that you use for your grip, you're using the extensors. These are the muscles that you use to do that. So very weak muscles, very small muscles. So even if you train them, they cannot become very strong because they're very small muscles. So the proper guitar technique for bending is that you grab the neck here, you grab the fingers here, you lock this position, and then you use, look at my bicep right here, you're moving the bicep like that to do the bend. Now, in all likelihood, you have not had an explanation like this of the playing position. I've seen lots of explanations on YouTube, and they do say that, oh yes, we should have the finger behind, or when you bend, you put the finger up here, but very rarely will you get a clear explanation like what we just did. Now, the interesting thing here is how do you go between those two extremes? So, because it's a very different position. This position is very straight, very disciplined, let's say, and this is, you see immediately the hand position changes totally. So when you have a rock lick like this, what do? Do you use this position or do you use this? Well, if you're going to be playing a lot of bends one after the other, you use the bend position, so that you don't have to switch positions all the time. But as soon as you're ready to play more like regular guitar stuff with not too much bending, so you're not improvising basically, then you switch back to your regular position. So there you have it. Two different playing positions. You need to be good with both of them, practice both of them, and do not try to invent one position that will take care of everything, because what is going to happen is you will end up learning nothing well. What will happen is you will be kind of okay with playing like scales, kind of okay with playing bends, but not really good at one or the other. What you should do is separate those two positions and practice them separately. And I'm sure we'll make another video about how to do bending and vibrato, which is very important. But until then, make sure you have those two positions separate and you practice them one at a time. So there you have it. Kind of a longer video, but I think it was very necessary to have a clear explanation. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you on the next episode of Ask the Guitar Coach. Bye bye.